The US stock market dipped on Tuesday. That shaped the information background for global financial markets. Yesterday, all American key stock indexes closed in the red. Apple shares stumbled 1.4% despite a recent rollout of new iPhone models and other products. Experts say that such a decline in the US equity market comes in the context of the long-awaited retracement following a protracted dazzling rally. Will the prediction prove true? Yesterday, all US benchmark stock indexes closed with losses. The Nasdaq suffered the biggest losses, having sank 0.9%. Both the Dow Jones and the S&P 500 dropped 0.7% each. Today, the indexes are on track to extend losses. The Dow Jones opened at near 33,828, but it went down in the second half of the day. Experts warn about a further downward correction. Meanwhile, the Dow Jones is expected to trade in the corridor of 33,500 to 33,900 points. At last, the US dollar index snapped a losing streak and found support at 90.80. Earlier today, the euro pulled back to the level below 1.2080 against the greenback. Does it mean that the US dollar index reached the bottom, aiming to rebound under the current economic conditions? In fact, no. Technical charts indicate that the US currency is likely to continue its decline after a minor bounce. In the meantime, its index is expected to trade inside the range of 91.20 to 91.70. The USD CAD pair opened the New York session at about 1.2602. The loonie sharply weakened due to a retracement in the US stock market and falling oil prices. The technical chart reveals that the Canadian dollar found it hard to assert strength, so it gave up without strain. It means that the Canadian dollar has touched the bottom at near 1.2450 against its American rival. Today, Canada reported a core CPI which remained flat in March. So, the loonie has no reason for gaining ground. Tonight, the Bank of Canada will unveil its policy update. The regulator is likely to stay pat on the key interest rate. All in all, the loonie will hardly find support from the policy decisions. Bitcoin opened the trading day at $56,000 and later dropped to $54,500. The culprit for a negative dynamic is an increase in a transaction fee in Bitcoin wallets to a record $70. The previous record of $62 was set in 2017. As a rule, trading activity apps away on cryptocurrency platforms under such conditions, so a breakout of the area of $54,000 or $56,000 is a question of time. Meanwhile, the most popular digital token is set to trade in the corridor of $54,350 or $56,850. A further trajectory will depend on the news environment. The downward correction in the US stock market, which began yesterday, will hardly come to an end today or tomorrow. Market participants await such market catalysts as policy decisions of the ECB and a weekly update on US unemployment claims. This information will be available tomorrow. Until then, the market is set to trade accurately. Interestingly, investors do not see serious headwinds in the US economy. Obviously, it has benefited from the generous government stimulus and successful mass vaccination. That's all for today. We keep monitoring the financial market situation. Subscribe to our channel and see you tomorrow.